right outside of our space. So when you came up Barretto Street, all the way up the walls and all the way up the building, there was the largest gallery of graffiti murals that I think exists, and by women, and that happened for 4 years. And Cassandra organized all of that. She organized the Lady Pink to come around, who is legendary in the graffiti world. Lady Pink got her friends to come in, so it was just, and that was every Badass Women Festival. Cassandra's always making sure that that we're keeping to our mission, and that we keep pushing it in a direction that keeps it vibrant and keeps us all alive.
Bienvenidos a BAAD. Please join us. Welcome. Come in.
I'm Charles Rice Gonzalez. I'm the Executive Director of BAAD, the Bronx Academy of Arts and Dance.
I'm Arthur Aviles. I'm the Artistic Director of the Bronx Academy of Arts and Dance. I'm also a choreographer and a dancer, the director of my own dance company called Typical Theater, and the director of the Bronx Dance Coalition, which produces the Bronx Dance magazine. And I clean the toilets too.
Well, the Bronx Academy of Arts and Dance is a performance space that is dedicated to presenting empowering works to women, people of color, and the LGBT community. And the way in which we do that is we have 4 festivals that we produce every year. And they are the Badass Women Festival, the Boogie Down Dance Series, Out Like That, and the Blacktino Performance Series. In addition to those festivals that are multidisciplinary, they have theater, music, art, dance, poetry, film. I mentioned dance, but that's the one staple that is in every festival. We always have dance, and that's the one discipline that has its own festival here at BAAD. And as we said, Arthur's a dancer and a choreographer, but BAAD started for him and his company. So that's why dance is one of the stakeholders, one of the kind of anchor arts that we have here at BAAD. Because Arthur always saw this building and said, I would love to dance in that building. And so that's how it started. It started really as him doing a concert here in the Banknote Building in a space that hadn't been used in about 4 years, was basically abandoned. There's lots of garbage and stuff all around. The last tenant was about 4 or 5 years before we came in. And the landlord at the time said, if you want to clean it up, and you can have your show in this spot. So we did. And a lot of community people, dancers, family members, other artists came and helped us clean it out. There was an organization at the time called Gay Men in the Bronx. Some of the guys from that group came and literally helped us clean and clear space so that we could have a show. And it was wild because we had people like a local DJ lent us the sound equipment. We had some friends from France who were doing a production. Their production had closed, so we got their lights. The first floor was a parquet dance floor that was in the basement of Maria Torres's place, and then the Marley on it was from Bill T. Jones's company. So we kind of likened it. I used to call it the Cinderella concert because when the concert was over, it was like when the midnight strikes, like the DJ had to take his equipment. Everything had to go again. But some of it stayed, and I think also our desire to stay here also stayed.
Yeah, it continued with, the reason why the space was really created was because of the desire that at that time Charles was my boyfriend, and we wanted to build something together, and we were able to do that. And we were able to come together about building something that was actually bigger than just having a relationship with another, and creating something bigger than that, just two people. And we feel proud that we were able to bring that together and create this for and in our own community. And we met here in the Bronx, and we continue to work together and do create the festivals together, and that's where we are at the moment.
My name is Millie Bonilla. I live here in the Bronx, and I am Puerto Rican. I am a lesbian. I am a humanist. I work to support community organizing in terms of improving the New York City public school system, and that's about it. For me, it's like a community center. It's like the place where I can come for music, art, and I don't have to get on the train to go to Manhattan, and run down there to find culture. Like, it's here in my neighborhood, and I can come and enjoy it, and it's like people I know and people I appreciate. And it's a space where, after you see the whether it's the play or the performance or whatever, there's a place that you can still hang out, because there's people that you become to know one another and become friends. So it's almost like my community center.
I am Yolanda Rosado, and I am a lesbian, Puerto Rican,
There's more about
born
you.
and raised in Puerto Rico. I've been in New York for 27 years. I am I'm a mother. I live here in the Bronx. I'm an activist, and I am also a social worker. I don't think there's any other place in New York City where the lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual community is connected to the arts as much as in BAAD. Is basically a door where people in the gay and bisexual community and transgender can express their artistic talents and interest and be themselves as well. And I think it's great that it's happening in the Bronx. We don't have to go to Manhattan or to the Village to have that open door.
A space for people of color too. It's like that. That is such an important place to have, and it's this is my community. It's the Bronx, and many times we feel like, oh, we lack in so many things, and it's so wonderful that there's so much beauty and so much power in this community that I can come here. And I can have my culture, which I enjoy, and I can learn about, a certain type of music I never heard of before, or I can, learn about just so many different aspects of the artistic world. So it's really, it's an important place for a lot of us to have what is this center in the Bronx.
Why is the con called the con? Tú no sabes. Porque tú no tienes. That's what I'm telling you. ¿Cómo te alegra? Muy bien. No, no te es mal show. Mira, se cree que es open mic night, carajo. Why is the con called the con? The con is a derivative. A derivative of the name of the great Oriental goddess Kunti. Yes, I'm reading because I didn't study very well.
BAAD is 10 years old. It's approaching 11 years old. We're really proud of that. And I think that it began as a labor of love, continues to be that.
Now, we say labor of love because there was a lot of love. To do this, you have to love it, because when we started it, we didn't get paid, right? Our budget, the reason why we're able to survive, particularly now this hard economic times, was we never had a lot of money to begin with. So, so when cuts came through and all that stuff, we were
It was
able.
like, it's like blood, sweat, and tears. That's our continuous way of making sure that the place stays alive, is that we physically and emotionally put ourselves into it, and also in an honest way and not a bullshit way, to not expect much back in that way, in a particular way. I guess, and when I say much, I mean money, because we know where the arts is.
I think, well, one of the things when we had started building BAAD, almost immediately we know they couldn't do it alone. You do it with a whole community of people. Partnerships with different community organizations. So partnerships look a lot of different ways. It could be simply giving away tickets to some shows just to encourage people to come. And by community organizations, we mean groups like Mothers on the Move and Casa Atabex and the Odyssey House. So we have relationships with these groups, and it's not, so part of it is audience, but we're also always trying to encourage them to create partnerships, to create programming. So as we've done with some groups, where it might be a film series, it might be a poetry reading, it might be, but we ask them to we'll work with them to help organize an event that kind of connects both the organizations. So it's not only in the audience that we want to create a relationship with community groups, but also on stage. We also, in terms of like impact, I do marketing publicity, so we've gotten into the media and into the press. So one of the things that BAAD has become culturally is a destination in a bigger landscape. And that's tough in New York City when there's so much competition. But I think because of our unique mission, and because we've stayed true to our mission of being a space for a particular audience, that I think the rest of the city has had to take note and say, oh, okay, so there is something going on up there culturally. In the dance community, we're often called upon, to come in and speak, etc., to share what's going on. We're known as having our finger on the pulse of dance here in the borough. Something's going on here, so I think.
Have a great show.
Definitely, one of the things that we do is, we invite people to come and experience BAAD, and experience, what we're talking about. I mean, it's one thing to hear about it, and it's another, and seeing it, on television or something, and it's a different thing to come into the room and experience live art. So we encourage people to come out and be BAAD, where it's all good.